At 3 p.m., the pilots marched onto the runway, climbed into their planes, and took off. This is the actual footage they recorded. The pilots could not communicate with each other for fear of being detected by the enemy's radar.
From the moment you go out from the briefing room, up to the moment you pull up for the attack, there is no one single word on the radio communication, in order not to expose yourself on the intelligence system on the other side. So it's a kind of a silent movie, and each one with himself, with his documents in the cockpit, maps.
The flying time is 1 hour 35. The location of the target was in the middle of the state of Iraq, 17 miles south of Baghdad. So the main concern wasn't the long flight of 600 miles, but the last 70 miles.
A second formation of Israeli F-15s provided cover for the F-16 bombers, ready to attack the Iraqis if they started to shoot. And then they saw the target.
Even before we pulled up from low altitude to higher altitude, one could see the walls they built.
Ironically, Saddam had built these walls to protect the reactor after the Iranian raid.
The dome was kind of a gold type. The sun was western, low angle, so when the explosion took place, the whole thing went up in the air and glistened in the setting sun. And it was just a great moment, except that there was no music.
The entire attack took 2 minutes. Now it was time to break away, quickly. Iraqi jets and missiles would certainly be launched. One by one, the Israeli pilots radioed each other they completed the mission.
90 minutes away from home, and a lot of flying in Iraq.
The pilots, now all accounted for, braced themselves for the worst. Saddam's billion-dollar arsenal of jets and missiles in hot pursuit. But then, something inexplicable happened. Absolutely nothing. No missiles, no Iraqi jets, just a beautiful sunset all the way home. At 7 that evening, the jets landed at the base. All returned home safely. Meanwhile, back in Iraq, the devastation on the ground was evident. Dr. Hamza, who had spent 7 years building the reactor, was just a mile up the road.
Some people came out down the road, so I stopped one of the drivers. I knew him. And I said, what happened? And he said, the reactor has been bombed out by the Israelis.
Saddam demanded to know how security could allow this to happen.
Oh, he was furious. He wanted to know why this happened, and when he found out the radar was shut down, he executed the officer, and we understood a couple of sergeants with him too.
It turns out that every evening at dinner time, the Iraqi radar system was turned off.
Who told the Israelis that exactly at 6, every day, the radar stations are turned off, so that they came at 6:25 and bombed out the reactor.
The raid was a success. The reactor was destroyed, leaving Saddam Hussein's nuclear dreams in ruin.